my name is Mrs. Eggleton and I am Assistant Head Teacher and Head of English here at Stretford High School. If you are tuning into this video, thank you so much because your support at home in helping your child to achieve their GCSE is absolutely indispensable. And in this video, I'm going to talk through some of the ways that you can support your child in achieving their GCSE in English literature. So as you know, from last year, your child has achieved their English language GCSE. They had teacher assessed grades for that, and hopefully those results have made everybody really happy and excited about everything your child is going to achieve in their final year at Stretford High. You will have noticed that your child achieved a grade that was a number rather than a letter. And as you can see here, those numbers don't correlate exactly to the old letter system. So a grade 4 is the top of a D and the bottom of a C, and a grade 5 is the top of a C and the bottom of a B. A grade 4 is classed as a standard pass, and a grade 5 is a good pass. And obviously upwards from that, you're into like your B's, A's and A stars. Most colleges look for the 4 or the 5 in English language or English literature, but some of them do ask for a 6 depending on what your child would like to study at college. So this year, your year 11 child is going to study English literature, and we are currently awaiting the results of a consultation to see exactly what's going to be in that exam. Some of the texts that we study are being made optional for this year only to take into account the disruption caused by COVID. So we're not entirely 100% sure what the outcome of that is going to be, but based on last year's consultation, and that's what they put forward for this year, it looks like it's likely that this on the screen now will be a makeup of your child's exam. So that is in one exam paper studying A Christmas Carol and a poetry anthology on the theme of power and conflict. And on a second exam, studying a Shakespeare text and some unseen poetry. And you can see there the provisional exam dates that those actual exams will be, assuming that exams do go ahead and there are no more lockdowns, fingers crossed. In school, we have mock exams on the following dates, as you can see on screen, and you can also see what your child will be tested on from their English Lit on screen now. So our key texts this year for students studying English literature are Macbeth by William Shakespeare and A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. We have copies of these texts in school that the students study from, but we don't allow the students to take them home because we don't want them to go missing. So if you would like to buy your child a copy of the text so that they've got their own, they are on Amazon. The cheapest I could find was £2.25 per book. And if you want to support your child further, I would really recommend either the York Notes or the CGP revision guides for these texts. They're really helpful. Okay, so in English, students are learning how to find information in a text and then use that information to form their own opinion or theory about what the author is trying to do. So in our lessons, we really look at extracts from the text, we really dig into the language and analyse it and the structure of the text to really think about how the reader is being impacted and how the author has crafted things deliberately. So in English literature, you can see here the 2 exam papers. You've got section A, which is on Shakespeare in paper 1. So students will be required to write in detail about an extract that will be printed in the paper and then about the theme or character that they're asked about in the play as a whole. And then they will also have unseen poetry, where they'll be given one unseen poem to analyse, and then a second poem in a separate question to compare both of those unseen poems. Paper 2 gets students to look at the 19th century novel, and for us that's A Christmas Carol. So similar to Shakespeare, they'll have an extract and they'll have to talk about that extract and elsewhere in the novel linked to a theme or character question. And they'll also have a poem printed in the booklet, 1 out of 15 poems that we study, that they will have to compare to another poem of their choice and analyse the language structure and form authors used. Both of these exams are worth 64 marks and are 50% of the total GCSE. So things that you can do at home to help your child. I'm actually just going to present my screen on GCSE Pod. This is an absolutely incredible website that the school pays for your child to access. And if you just go to gcsepod.com, you can click on Parents, and it will talk you through this website. It will explain to you how to support your child using it, and they also do that in a number of languages. So there's lots of different leaflets for you to look through, but if reading's not your thing, you can also join a parent webinar. So you can see here, they've got lots of dates that are bookable to explain how you can support your child to use GCSE Pod. And basically, when your child logs into GCSE Pod, they have access to a whole range of small 3 to 5 minute videos that they can watch on the text, the characters, the plot, the key quotes, all of the things that they need to study and do for their exam. They can watch that, make their own notes, and then they can use that to repeat over and over, do different activities with, to get the information into their long-term memory. It's particularly good if there's something that they've not quite understood in class or they want to go over. It's all there for them. The pods are downloadable and they come with activities with them, so you don't, they can use that on the go, walk around, listening to those pods, and honestly, it's just a brilliant resource. So it's really helpful, especially for English literature, because there's so much content for the students to remember. In school, obviously, we make sure our lessons are as interesting and as engaging as possible, and we are running after school intervention for selected students. We hold assemblies, reminding students how to revise and doing support things for them in those. And we also have Manchester actors coming into school to perform Macbeth and the Christmas Carol, so that the students have another experience of seeing the text come to life. On the 27th of September, Mrs. Midgley is going to run a session for the students after school on how to revise for English, so different revision techniques they can use. And closer to the exam, we run what we call LitFest, which is a series of lecture-style workshops for the students to drop into on like key questions and characters and texts that they might be worried about. So we're doing as much as we can to help your child achieve their absolute best. At home, you can help your child by ensuring they complete their English homework. The tasks that we set will support what we're doing in the classroom, and it's really useful if your child can complete those to the best of their ability and hand them in on time. In addition to that, it's really important that they are regularly revising. So, for example, your child's currently studying Macbeth. We won't be returning to Macbeth now until the spring, once we've studied it. So it's really important that your child takes responsibility for their learning and keeps that knowledge of Macbeth really fresh in their minds, so that it's not getting lost and then feeling like it's all over again when we're learning it, when we go back to it in spring. As I said, buying the key text or revision guides can be really useful, but even just having a discussion with them about the text and talking to them about the story and the characters and what they think of it is really helpful. There's also some great film versions of texts that you can watch together. If you're aware of key dates, like those mock dates and those exam dates, that can be really helpful as well, just so that you can keep your child focused on what's coming up next for them. We've also produced a week-by-week revision guide. So if your child struggles with how to revise or what to revise, there is a week-by-week task that they can do to support their study in English literature. And that will be sent out to you via the My Ed app. So keep an eye out for that. We also really recommend BBC Bite Size GCSE website. It's really, really helpful. Again, lots of videos, lots of sample questions for them to look at, and really helpful information. That's everything from me today. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact us at school. You can ask for me, Mrs. Eggleton, or your child's English teacher, and you can email us by using our first name initial and our surname. So for me, that's Eggleton at stretfordhigh.com. So you can just stretfordhigh.com to email your child's English teacher. I hope you found that helpful. We wish you and your child the best of luck for the year ahead. Thank you.